Hello, I'm Jackie Notman, and this is your energy reading for the month of May 2013 using Feng Shui Astrology and the Tarot. Now, in Feng Shui Astrology, the energy cycles shift around about the 5th of May, and we're moving from April, which was governed by the element of fire, into a month that is governed by the house of the mountain. And this is very, very different. Mountain is governed by the element of earth, so it's very grounded, it's very stable. If you think of a mountain, it's kind of hard to move a mountain, isn't it? So we're also thinking that perhaps this energy could be very, very heavy, quite stubborn rather than stable as well. And this has all sorts of repercussions, really. There's a strong potential for miscommunication this month. There's also strong potential that projects or things may get stuck, may not move forward, may not progress the way you want them to. And if you're the sort of person who likes lots of things going on, lots of things happening, then this could become a very frustrating month for you. Now, we can always take things out of a situation, and this month is absolutely ideal for getting your head down, doing some studying, doing some research, writing that book you always wanted to write, all those kind of jobs which we need to really shut the doors, shut the world out a little bit, and go into our mountain, go into our cave and focus on getting things done. So the energy will really support that for you. When I said stubbornness as well, there's quite a focus on relationships this month, particularly relationships rather than things. It's kind of stubbornness, things not moving forward with people. So be aware of that. Try not to get too frustrated. Try not to move things on if they're not ready to be moved on, because that isn't right. Things move when the time is right to move, and if things aren't happening the way you want them to, just take a step back. It may be that you need to check things again, you need to do a little bit more preparation. There's always things that you can take out of this type of energy. Now, I dealt 3 tarot cards as well, just to support this this energy, and yeah, they're quite interesting. They're not the best cards that I've ever seen, but let me show them to you. The first one is the 10 of Swords. You can see what I mean about not the best cards. He's laying on his back with 10 swords in them. That must hurt. The next one is the 9 of Wands there, and wands are always about kind of activity and things moving, but just look at that guy's face. He's not particularly happy. The third card was the Sun. Now I always like the Sun, but this one actually came out reversed. So so we haven't got all the benefits of the Sun here either. This really does mirror the energy of the month. First of all, let's look at the 10 of Swords. Well, actually, let's look at the 10 of Swords and the 9 of Wands together, because they really speak of the same thing. And this is about conflict, having issues, almost coming to us from an outside source. So not necessarily things that we've created ourselves, although you could argue that in the whole scheme of things we create everything, but it really feels that the stuff that is coming to us, not particularly nice stuff, is coming from outside sources. And when we think that, we think that we have no control over these situations, and that's why we get into this situation about feeling totally downtrodden, having to defend ourselves. So it really is this lack of control over a situation. This guy with the Wands, he is all about having to kind of stand up for ourselves, be dogged, have that determination to stand our ground, and that's very much supported by that mountain energy. The mountain stands its ground, but this is standing our ground in the face of opposition, and it's about being very clear on your standards, your ethics, what you think about things, and defending that opinion in the face of people who are questioning it. So, you know, it's good to be questioned sometimes, because if we're questioned, we can really clarify what we feel, what we think about something. So, you know, don't get too defensive when people question you, but just stick your ground and put your case forward, and, you know, just keep doing that. Eventually they'll either go away or they'll start to agree with you. So there is quite an emphasis on having to do that this month. And then this other card with the guy lying on his back. Now, he's lying on his face. He doesn't want to look up anymore. He just feels totally downtrodden. Everything that's kind of come at him has knocked him down, and he's in a position where he's questioning, do I really need to get up anymore? Do I need to do this? The answer is yes. Yes, you do. You need bounce back ability. When you get knocked down by anything, you need to bounce back up. And how do you do that? Because it's kind of quite hard to stand up after you've got all those swords stuck in your back. And the way to do that really is to look towards a higher source. It's to look up towards whatever you believe in. It may be God, it may be the universe, it may be any sort of deity, but looking towards that higher source. And remember, that higher source is part of you. It's not something external. It's your spirit connecting with home, I suppose. But connect with that, use that. That will lift your vibrations, and when you can lift your vibrations, you can start to let those swords pop out, and you can start to get up a bit. You'll feel lighter. You'll be able to do that. But you really have to build up your bounce back ability, because if you don't, you become one of life's victims, and you're not really living life. You're just down there waiting for people to tread on you. It's really not the way to be. Okay, and then the other one we have was the sun. The sun is normally absolutely wonderful. I love the sun. It's about shining the light on things. It's about clarification. It's about fully yang energy, wanting to be out there, be motivated and doing things. Now, it's pretty much held up here because it's upside down and it's reversed. And I think this is the mountain energy there. There is probably a lack of communication, a lack of clarification rather than communication about things. So you may not feel that you know the whole story. This ties in very much with this mountain energy, the flip side about miscommunication. Communication happens in two ways. It's what we say and what we send out, but it's also what we receive and how we perceive that message. So take care about your communication. Think about how the people that you're trying to communicate with will receive your message, and do the most you can to get away from miscommunication or the message being read incorrectly. That's really important this month. A little bit of preparation around that will actually save having to sort out the problems afterwards, I suppose. So it's not a particularly sunny month, but you know, there are pluses that you can get from it. Just knowing that is going on around you and being aware of it will help you navigate through this type of possibly troublesome energy. Now, if you're an 8-star yourself, if you're an 8 mountain star yourself, and if you're not sure, go onto my website and click on the link to Feng Shui Astrology and you can work it out yourself. But if you're an 8 mountain star yourself, you're really going to be in the spotlight this month, and you don't often like that. So, you know, stick with it this month. Attract the people to you that are going to help you in the future, because you're in the spotlight. You're going to be pulling people towards you. So pull the right people towards you, make connections, and you know, just go with it, and you'll feel a little bit more comfortable next month probably. So that's about it for May. Actually, it's not April, it's May. Click onto the link for my website if you want to find out any more about anything else I do, all the different readings and things. In the meantime, have a wonderful May, and I will see you next time.